Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the video with Freddie and are excited for him too that he got adopted. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be revisiting some of my original videos as I take some time to work on some new things for you guys, as well as ease the transition back into my husband going back to work and my niece going back to South Dakota for the summer. We're going to start with my Boredom Busters for your dog during quarantine video. Since a lot of you are still at home, I thought this would be a great one to revisit on things that you can be doing with your dog during this time. The Boredom Busters video can give you ideas on things to work with over your dog for the next few weeks. Also, don't forget about slowly transitioning them back into a normal routine if you're going to be headed to work in the next few weeks or the upcoming months. Because it's so important that they start to figure that out now rather than just an abrupt change one day. It's going to be so much easier if you can kind of ease them back into it. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a great week. I wanted to go ahead and talk about the importance of being with your dog as a stress relief point, and then some of the things that maybe we've all been putting off because we didn't have the time to do it, that we now have the time at home to work on them with. And so it's important during this time that if your dog has separation anxiety, you're trying to keep up with some sort of normalcy so that in 2 weeks or longer, when you go back to work, your dog isn't having to start from square one on their anxiety issues that they've been dealing with. So I put together a list of some things that you could be working with your dog on. A reminder that your dog doesn't want to work for hours a day. So I'm thinking that this is a great way to force yourself to take like 15-minute breaks, step away from the computer and from work for a little bit, and then work on things with your dog. As we all know, consistency and repetition is key, so this is a perfect opportunity to work on behaviors every single day for the next 2 weeks or longer, and you'll be amazed at how much of a difference that consistency and even 2 weeks can make in these behaviors. The list I put together starts with place and the place command, because this is so crucial and can be used and utilized in so many different areas. I think it's a vital tool to teach every dog, and it's a great one to start with when you're going to be working from home and probably at a computer and you're in the same place for longer periods of time. So what I want you to do is go check out my place video and work on teaching your dog place on command and expecting them to stay there until you tell them otherwise. So the important thing when you're working from home is that if you go to get out to get a glass of water per se, chances are your dog is likely going to follow you. And so that's going to be a time where you're going to really practice on them waiting until you actually invite them to come with you to come off of that place command. The second one is the look command, and that's the focus on demand. I have another video that breaks down how to teach that, but now's a really good time, again with a 15-minute break, to work on teaching your dog that look command so that in higher stress situations, your dog is more likely to be able to put their focus back on you. Teaching that look command will help in various scenarios once you're out and about again, and really help your dog to learn to focus on you on demand. The other command I think we could all work on right now is loose leash walking. So often when we talk about working on loose leash walking, we discuss starting in a place that is not overly exciting for the dog so that they just don't want to pull. And so right now is a great time to be taking 15 minutes out of your day and just walking them through the house and giving them a command, asking them to keep that leash loose while you're walking them inside. Then you can go into a backyard if you have it, and over the next 2 weeks, by the time you're able to go outside again and in public, you'll be amazed at how much building that foundation right now will have helped you in the long run. Another good boredom buster for you and your dog right now is just brushing up on your routine basic commands. So we're talking about your sit, down, stay. These are things that we all can get a little bit lazy on, and now is a good time to work your dog's brain and give you something to do and stress relief and something else to focus on that will help your dog in the long run. If you have a dog that has issues with doorbells or knocking and, going crazy and then not being able to calm them down, again, now's a great time to be able to practice that. So if you have a neighbor who's also staying home, you could switch on and off with having them come over to your house, ring the doorbell, and then working on desensitizing your dog to the noise. While we're practicing social distancing, obviously it's important that you mainly just talk to your neighbor through the door or on the phone, but then you can go ahead and reciprocate and go do the same thing for your neighbor. And how this is going to be is you ring the doorbell and likely your dog will start barking. You wait for your dog to quiet down, even if it's just for a second. You mark it with a command such as quiet or that's enough. And the second that they start barking, you again mark with a yes and then reward. And so you just keep doing this. Again, repetition is so big. So in 10 minutes, you'll probably see a really big difference. So as you work on that for the next 14 days, you'll be amazed at how much better they'll have gotten, at least in being able to quiet back down, if not completely not barking anymore at all, because they're waiting for that reward. As they get better at it, you'll just quit treating them every single time so that in the event you don't have a treat, they still are quiet, and then the reward is just getting pet and obviously being told that they're being good. If you don't have a neighbor that can help you with this, it's easy enough to just open your door and ring the doorbell or knock yourself. And that's still a good start for reconditioning the stimulus and then the reactive behavior that goes with it. With all of these, if you have kiddos at home right now, it's a great time to really incorporate them into things with your dog. Always under supervision, but specifically the leash walking. One, your dog will really enjoy that, and then kids usually love to feel like they get to walk their dog. It just kind of helps to develop that respect with your child and your dog, and it's fun for both of them. You can also have your child work on just some of those basic commands and things like that, or going back to the doorbell instance, have your kid be the one to ring the doorbell. Just make sure if you've had like delivery people or anything like that by your house lately that you've disinfected the door, the doorbell, and all of those things, and we're just still using good hygiene practices even when we're doing things at home to again stop that spread. If you're like us, we live in beautiful Arizona and it's been absolutely amazing weather since we got back from our vacation. And where we're at, specifically in Arizona, is very unpopulated and has a lot of hiking trails. And so now is a great time. Make sure you're taking your lunch break and getting your dog outside if you can. And just, again, kind of taking advantage of the fact that we're being forced to really slow down and think about how we do things with our kids and with our pets and just our lives in general. And so just keeping aware of that social distancing. Obviously the whole point is to not spread anything, but again, we're going to head out later this afternoon and I can almost guarantee we won't see a single person on a trail near our house. During this time where things are just really crazy, I don't want to add to the chaos or any of the stress that's surrounded by it. I actually want to be here to remind you that your dog is a great stress reliever. Don't forget that your animals, whether you have a cat, dog, horses, are some of the best stress reducers that we can use. But that being said, they also pick up on the stress and the panic and chaos. And so just be really mindful that when you're petting your dog, it's, while they'll be able to absorb some of your anxiety, really let your mind go and not worry about things that just aren't in our control, and just do the things that you love and spend time with all of the people that you love right now. At the end of the day, we all only have one life to live, and I think that this is going to give us all the opportunity to remember to just slow down a little bit and really enjoy the things and the people in our lives that really matter to us. Let me know if you try any of these things out or if you need more ideas. Until next time, enjoy your pup and have a great week.